All right. Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. You are watching the video for class on January the 5th, 2021. I've got to get used to saying 2021. Hope you had a great Christmas. I hope you had a wonderful New Year. And it's time to get things rolling again. So you're watching this video. If you missed class or if you're wanting to brush up on what we talked about, I've got this information lined up for you here. So let's get rolling. What you need to do is you need to go to your class, whichever one of these is you. You need to go to that class, and I am going to randomly pick third period. Let's pick third period. And now it doesn't matter if you're in third period or one of the other classes. You pick your period, click on it. And when you click on it, remember to always read the announcements. I have the announcements listed here for you. I have the times for your virtual classes listed right here so that you can have a keep up with when you need to tune in for certain classes. But anyway, let's go for today's assignment. And today's assignment, you need to click on classwork right here. And when you click on classwork, you're going to see today's warm-ups. All right, so what you need to do for today's warm-up is you need to click on this right here, and you need to click on the Google Doc and the Google Slide, and it will show you what I'm about to show you right now. Here, let me show you this right here. This is the chart. Of course, you're very familiar with those of you that's been in my class. There's a few new folks that are going to be joining us for this new semester. So if you got any questions, send me an email. But in that Google Classroom, you need to click on this right here. I've already filled in yesterday for you. There was no class due to teacher work day. So I put no warm up, teacher work day. Now, in this area right here, is where you need to type today's question and today's answer. So today's question is, what instrument is used to make small things look large? All right, so right here, what instrument is used to make small things look large? And the answer, you're going to type it in right there. All right, so what is the answer? Well, I've had some people today say telescope. Well, a telescope is used to make things that look in the night sky that are the stars that are very small. It does make them look bigger so that we can see, what the stars look like that we're looking at the sky. During Christmas, we had that thing where Jupiter and Saturn got real close together. And I had my telescope out looking at that, and you could see Saturn and Jupiter right there next to each other. But that is not what we're looking for here. Kind of gave away the answer there. The microscope is what you're needing to put in for the answer right here. So put microscope in right there, and you are ready now for the next part of for the class. If you will think back to now, remember, you can hit pause anytime during this video to get stuff typed in and put me, to slow me down. So, don't hesitate to do that. All right. So if you will think back to last October, and there was a time when I was quarantined at home because I had been exposed to the virus. Now, when I was at home, we talked a little bit about the microscope, and I did not go into great detail with you. All right. Well, here's one of the things we talked about. Do you remember Robert Hooke? This guy right here. All right. Robert Hooke is the one guy that is credited, one of the originators of the microscope. And if you'll remember, he is the one that looked at a piece of cork bark under a microscope, and he's the one that discovered these little compartments. And he thought that they looked like areas where monks live in a monastery. And he said that they look like, to him, cells or cellula. All right. And that's the Latin term for it. And so he called these things cellula, or cells, as we call them today, because it reminded him of little rooms where people lived in monasteries, where religious people lived at. And they still do. There's still monasteries around. But he said that's what it reminded him of. And we also talked about another guy that is credited a lot for the microscope, for coming up with different microscopes, the early microscopes, and his name was Anton van Leeuwenhoek. And hopefully, you remember this guy. Anton van Leeuwenhoek he was a Dutch man and he was a businessman. He wasn't a scientist, and what he did was he sold cloth. Maybe you remember the story, and he would offer people a discount if they would for cloth if they would let him scrape things off of their teeth and off the inside of their mouth. That's kind of gross, I know. It's just really weird. But anyway, here's another picture of Anton van Leeuwenhoek, and this is an early microscope that he's looking through as well. And he's using the candle here as his light source, and the light and whatever he's looking at, it's in this area right here, and there's a lens in there, and it allows him to be able to see using this light source being a candle right there. Anyway, here's another picture of him using another type of microscope as well. So Robert Hooke and Anton van Leeuwenhoek, they are the ones who are given a lot of credit for the early microscopes. All right, so what is it that you need to know? Well, one of the things that you need to know is you're going to have a test on this on Friday. And I know you're thinking to yourself, a test on Friday? Golly, we're not even going to be a week back and you're already giving us a test. Well, that's correct. But it's only 28 questions, small little test, and it's going to cover all the things that we're about to talk about over the next several days. Today, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm going to give you all the information you need for the test. All right, so what is it that we need to know? All right, well, I'm going to come back over here to where third period is. All right, so we've done the warm-up. Let's get rid of this. And you need to click right here where it says microscope parts. Click on that. And what you need to work with is you might want to kind of maneuver your screen around right now. You want to click on the Google Documents where I'm pointing right now. You can use this later on, but if you click on this, it's going to give you the book, which I'm going to use in just a second. And here's where the cell parts is, but you can't click on this and type on it. It won't allow you to type on it. That is why you need to click here where it says Google Docs, and that's going to bring up the document on which you can type on. You see, now I could type on this if I needed to. All right, so maneuver your screen so that you can have this screen right here because we're going to go over a couple of these definitions today. All right, so what is it? What is a course adjustment knob? Okay, well, I got to get rid of this, and I have got to go here. And here is where you kind of need to have your Google document with the microscope and me on the other side of your screen so that you can see this page right here. Because the definitions that you're going to need are located right here. Okay, so the first thing, course adjustment knob. All right, what is a course adjustment knob? Okay, well, if you'll look right here, it has course adjustment knob. All right, so you need to type this right here in. The course adjustment knob moves the body tube for focusing with low power objective lens. All right, so hit pause and type that right now. Okay, so you've got this typed in. What is the course adjustment knob? Well, you'll notice that the course adjustment knob, it's pointing to this larger knob that is located right here. And I'm going to show you an example of this here in just a second on the microscope that I've got sitting right here next to me. All right, basically when you're looking through the microscope, all right, there's different lenses that will show you a image that is not magnified very much. And then then the microscope will have a lens that you can move and it will show you a more magnified image. And then on my microscope, you can turn the lens again and it will give you a very magnified view. All right. So when you look at it under what is called low power, all right, you can't see like inside the cell. You can see the cell and other cells around it, but you can't see inside the cell. Okay, so when you're looking at this low power, it's not very magnified. You use this large knob right here to focus what you're looking at. Now, the next word that you need to know is fine adjustment knob. All right, so what's the fine adjustment knob? All right, so the fine adjustment knob, let's use green here. All right, the fine adjustment knob, I'm trying not to cover up any of the important words. The fine adjustment knob moves the body tube for focusing with the high power objective lens. All right, hit pause and I'll come back and explain that to you. Okay, you've typed in now, fine adjustment knob, moves the body tube for focusing with high power objective lens. And you'll notice that it's pointing to this little bitty knob right here. Okay, that knob is used when you're looking at a high magnification. And you turn it and it will help to focus the image. If you use this knob, it's hard to get the close fine tuning that you need. So this knob right here is a little bit smaller, and it moves the image just a little bit and tries to help you to focus it a little bit better. All right, and I'll show you this in just a moment as well. All right, the third word that we are needing to define today. Whoop, gotta get my pointer back here. The third word that we need to get is arm right here. Okay. So let me go back here and let me get a different color. Let's get blue. All right. And you'll see arm right here. All right. For arm, you need to type up supports the body tube. The arm supports the body tube. Type that in and right now hit pause and type it in. Okay, so you've hit pause and you've typed in what the arm is. Now the arm is this right here. All right, this area right in here is the arm. Okay, and basically it supports the top part of the microscope. Okay, basically it just holds up this part and you use the arm to help carry the microscope. All right, so now those are the only three words that I'm going to give you, but don't stop, don't click off of me yet, because I'm wanting to show you the microscope that I've got right here next to me. And because all my microscopes, there's thousands of different styles and they look different. And I'm going to show it to you in more detail. Here it is. And I'm going to blow up me here in just a second so that you can see me a little bit better. But look how this microscope looks different than the one that is on the screen. All right. And on the screen, here are the two knobs. Well, here the two knobs are one piece right here, and it's on the other side as well. So the arm looks different. It's got a handle in it. Here, let me move the pictures around here so that I can show you a little bit better what it is that I want you to see. And I don't know if I can make my picture any bigger. I was wanting to make my picture bigger, but I don't know that I can. All right. Well, I thought that I could. I thought that I could make it bigger, and I probably can. I just am stupid and don't know how. Okay, so I'm going to use this picture. I'm going to use, even though it's little, I can still show you this. I've already showed you basically anyway, and get real close up here. All right. Now, this is the fine, and this is the coarse. And it looks like when you're looking at this, I know you've never had much experience with a microscope. It looks like that this is one piece, but it's actually two. The big knob moves, and if you'll notice, the little knob moves as well. Okay, so the big knob is the coarse adjustment knob, and inside, this is the fine adjustment knob. And here in the definitions, it says that it moves the body tube, and this is the body tube, which we will study later on. Well, on this microscope, it doesn't move the body tube, which is located here. It actually is moving this right here. It's moving what is called the stage, which we will talk about more later on. Anyway, that helps you to focus. It helps to make everything, whatever you're looking at, it helps to make it look better, bigger, and well focused. This right here is the arm, and you'll see that the arm here is supporting the upper part of the microscope. Okay. Now this is part of the body tube, and you can see the body tube looks a little different here on the computer, on the one in your textbook. And this is nice because it's got a handle in it that you can actually grab a hold of, and you can put your hand underneath the microscope. And this is how you're supposed to move a microscope around. You're supposed to put your hand on the arm and a hand on the base and carry it around, because this little bitty microscope, which are student microscopes, these things can be a couple of $100s each. These are very delicate instruments, and they're looking at things that are super, super small. And so, yes, they're still very, very expensive. All right, so that is the information for today. You're going to have a test on this information on Friday. So on Wednesday and Thursday, we'll get the rest of these definitions. So you don't have to go through there and do the rest of them today. I know that you can see them, and I know you could do them, but there's no need. What you need to do is you need to learn these 3 words tonight. Join in tomorrow on Wednesday and Thursday, and I'll have more information for you concerning microscopes and the test. And by the way, for those of you that are wondering, hey, what about the extra point work we did before Christmas? I will give you more information about that. I haven't graded them yet. I haven't looked at them yet. I'm going to start looking at them today. But for those of you that did them, you will get extra points for the work, and I'll talk more about that later. Hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.